Welcome back to Lower Keys Living, everybody. Hope you had a great week. So this week after work, decided to run out. I was targeting Cero mackerel and some yellowtail. Just a beautiful evening, crystal clear water. Um, and came out, decided to stay inshore. Had originally planned to go out. But this evening in free lining, I'm using these circle hooks, little jig weight on them. And I use these because I like they keep the shrimp that I'm using just below the chum line where typically the bigger fish hang out. You can see water's crystal clear, and I'm only in about 3.5 feet of water here. The bait fish come off the shelf here by the island on the outgoing tide, and the bigger fish come in after them. So I use these really lightweight spinning rods with 8-pound test when I'm first starting out because the small fish usually show up first. And if I start seeing them, then I'll switch over to some heavier weight lines for the bigger fish. So my original plan, and I'll take you out here shortly, but this is a little cut out here on the reef out by Pelican Shoals. That is a dynamite yellowtail spot that I'll share with you in an upcoming episode. But this is where I am in that circle right off of Key Lois, right off of Cudjoe Key. The bow channel spit is there on the left side. So got my chum bag in the water, just working that, getting a good chum line going. Got the lightweight tackle out, a couple of pieces of shrimp in the water, and I'm only working 2 rods this evening at a time, just because it can get really busy by myself, leaving those spools open. If they both get going, larger fish can run out that line pretty quick. So as I'm waiting for my chum line to get going, spotted this guy. He's a big old jellyfish. Don't have real perspective here on him with nothing in the background, but he was almost 2 feet across, so thought I'd get a video of him, but just didn't do the size of him justice drifting by. Almost immediately, I knew it was going to be a long night, struggling to get the bait through the chum line because the ballyhoo showed up quick. And these guys are like absolute termites when it comes to shrimp bait in the water. They really thickened up. I was wishing I had my throw net or ballyhoo net with me because I really could have stocked up pretty well on frozen ballyhoo for trolling baits. But yeah, it was thick with ballyhoo all evening. But kept the chum line going. Again, beautiful night to be out. So you can see I leave the spools open on these reels. Some people like to hand feed that out with the current, let them go. But with this really lightweight line and these lightweight rods, it goes out on its own. So I can just leave them unmanned. If they start getting big, I'll get them. I'll keep a hand on them. But you can see here, I'm just tossing out a shrimp, and you can see how quickly the fish started hitting here. So it's out there for about 5 seconds right now, just shaking the chum bag. I go to look at the other pole, check that one, and there it goes. You can see the line start running off on that. So typically you'd like to keep that, let the fish run with that for 3-4 seconds to make sure they're swallowing the hook. This guy was about 5 or 6 seconds, so he got a little more, swallowed a little deeper than I would have liked. But I was kind of excited. This is a yellowtail right off the bat. So I was thinking I was going to end up with some good yellowtail this evening. But honestly, you're not going to see any big fish tonight. This was a night of all small, tiny fish. But again, like I said, I could see right now he's a yellowtail. I'm like, oh, this is great. Going to be a fun evening. I'll get a few yellowtail for dinner. Although I wasn't too worried about it. My plan wasn't to come out here and stock up the refrigerator or freezer. I just wanted to get out and fish this evening. Long couple of days at work. Just needed to kind of detox and get out on the water. So you see how to get the hook remover out because he really swallowed this thing. He ended up totally unharmed. He was totally fine back in the water, and come back and get him in a year or so when he's a little bit bigger and a full-grown fish. He might have been all of 8 inches, but that was it. But again, did get him back in the water unharmed and off and on his way. So because I got that yellowtail so quick, I was like, oh, we're going to get some bigger yellowtail coming in. So I went to the heavier weight rods. Almost immediately, again, got another fish on. And the fish were almost constant the whole time I was out there. But you can see this one kind of looked a little silly having that bigger rod with 30-pound test for that tiny little guy. Should have just kept going with the little rods all night. But that was it. He was, again, one of the bigger fish for the evening. But you see, leaving those spools open, you can see this line starting to go a little bit. But I love fishing like this. It keeps the action busy, and I was totally happy out here this evening catching the small fish. It was just fun. I enjoy a busy action night with lots of fish coming in. Here again, not a record setter. He's not going to make the trophy wall in the house by any stretch. And a lot of people might be disappointed if that were the type of night they're having, but heck, I was happy to be out here catching fish. Here, I'm going to show you what the ballyhoo do to the shrimp. You can see this guy was out there. You'd never even feel a tug. The line's not going. They just get in there like little termites and completely hollow out that shell. Give you a little closer look at it off the hook here. But yeah, my whole evening was spent replacing hollowed out bait from the ballyhoo. So since that was the story of the night, decided to pack things up, headed in early, had another day of work the next day, but beautiful night on the evening. Hope you enjoyed this. Sometimes the small fish are the reality, but thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, share this with your friends, and we will see you next week for another episode of Lower Keys Living. Thanks for watching.